Yeah, thanks, David. Fabulous afternoon for a game of rugby league. Sun shining brightly. Kids out on the field just holding the York City Knights flag. The two teams have gone through the warm-up routines and they're back in the sheds and looking forward to an absolute belter, aren't we, Paul?
So excited. I watched a great game yesterday, Warrington versus Wakefield, my hometown, and Wakefield beat them. That was a tremendously exciting game. I'm hoping this is going to be the same.
Yeah, Widnes fans in the south stand away behind the sticks. Away to our left, James Ford just emerges from the tunnel with Will Leap. They're going to make their way across to the far side of the stadium. James Ford's favourite vantage point. Let's quickly go through the two sides again. We'll start with the Widnes Vikings. Jack Owens at fullback, Ryan Ince, Joe Edge, Steve Tyra and Matty Fleming across the backs. Joe Lyons and Matty Smith at halfback. The starting forwards, Kenny Baker, Matty Fozzard at hooker, Aribi Doro, the exciting Aribi Doro on loan from Warrington, Sam Wilde, Adam Lawton and Aaron Brown. And off the bench, Liam Bent, Tyler Dupree, Owen Farnworth and Oliver Davis. And missing today, Shane Grady and Danny Craven of note. For Widnes Vikings, their coach Simon Finnegan. York City Knights have just come out. Matty Marsh at fullback, Joe Brown, James Glover, Levi Edwards on loan from Leeds Rhinos, and Brad Ward across the backs. Brendan O'Hagan and Jamie Ellis, the preferred pairing at half-back. And the starting forwards, Massimo Tongo, Will Jubb, the return of Paulie after his 3-match suspension. Chris Clarkson and Danny Kerman, second row. Jordan Thompson at loose forward. And off the bench, Liam Harris, Ronan Dixon, Marcus Stock and Jack Teenby. And the ones who miss out, Will Oakes with a groin strain, Ronan Michael with a knock he took last week at Whitehaven, Sam Davis and Joe Porter. You hear what the crowd thinks. They're up for it as well today. This should be a cracker. Our referee, Mr. Ben Thaler from Normanton. I'll get it right this time. I don't want another ticking off from Paul. And we're all ready to go. The flag is moving away to our left. The Knights in there, white and amber home shirt, black shorts, and Widnes in all green as the 13-second observation of the tackle initiative is made. The Widnes players, many of them down on one knee. The Knights are defending the south stand end. It will be Widnes to kick off in the form of Steve Tyra in the number 4 shirt. And we're all ready to go. Third plays fifth. Who's going to come out on top? The early exchanges will be all important here. Steve Tyra puts boot to ball. It's up in the air, sails up into the sunny Sunday afternoon skies, drops into Brendan O'Hagan, and he pops the ball off immediately into the hands of Jordan Thompson. Knights coming out of defence. Here comes Paulie, and that big contact as he reaches the advancing Widnes defence. Knights 25 from their own line. Paulie just steps over the tackler Aribi Doro, and then Will Jubb jumps out of the play. The ball makes 5 or 6 metres before he's held just short of the Knights 40. Jamie Ellis just calming things, goes in at dummy half, ball off to Massimo Tongo, and the former Hull player wrestles his way just about to halfway before he's brought to ground centre field. Will Jubb into Jordan Thompson again. Thompson, good impact, good leg drive on the last tackle. The Knights look as though they've got a decent first set in, just need a kick to finish it off. Jamie Ellis under a little bit of pressure, high hanging kick that drops into the hands of Matty Fleming, took it well under pressure. And a good first set for the Knights, Paul.
Excellent, well worked. And a great defensive tackle there.
Yeah, good follow-up by the Knights and trying to keep Widnes pinned back. Just trying to use something down this left side to come out of defence. Ball through the hands of Matty Fozzard in the scrum cap. Fozzard again, the former London Broncos player, played against the Knights last season. And again, the Knights' defence is good, and they've restricted Widnes really well here. On the last tackle, it'd be Matty Smith to put boot to ball, the former St Helens and Widnes player.
Excellent catch.
On his haunches by Joe Brown. Excuse me, good work there from the former Bradford player. Ball's come loose, and it was a mishandling there by Joe Brown. Ball's come out. It's going to be Widnes ball just in the York City Knights half. And just a little error there from the Knights winger, Paul.
He slipped as he was taking the ball and then he slipped into the settle. So a knee must have caught his hand or something.
Scrum down in centre field. Widnes head and feed. Brendan O'Hagan in the left side of the Knights defensive line. Ball goes to Joe Lyons. Joe Lyons ships the ball on. And the advancing York defence collars him just inside the Knights 40. Matty Fozzard at the play the ball. Goes to Adam Lawton, the influential Adam Lawton. Good drive from Lawton. Well appreciated by the Widnes fans. Tackle from Chris Clarkson, the York City Knights skipper. Ball onto the left side. Shipped through two pairs of hands, and then into Sam Wilde. Sam Wilde, the player who thought he'd signed for Ottawa, and then that didn't happen. Formerly with Warrington. Fozzard, 10 in from the left touchline. Through the hands of little Joe Lyons. Onto Matty Smith, moving the ball quickly onto the right side. Steve Tyra flips the ball to his winger, but the Knights scrambling defence out that side is good, and they managed to get the Widnes winger Ryan into touch. 5 metres short of the try line. Good defence from the Knights, Paul.
It was, but the Widnes attack was very formulatic. There's no one taking a player on. They're just passing the ball.
And it will be Knights to take over the ball 10 metres from their own line. Matty Marsh with the ball in his hands at the moment. Jamie Ellis out the play. The ball goes short, and really Massi Mutongo took that ball, stood still, which is not particularly one you want to see from a prop forward when the defensive side are on top of him. Knights not making too much progress here. Widnes working hard to keep him restricted. Jordan Thompson again, he adds a little bit of impetus, the former Castleford and Hull player. And of course, with Lee when he signed for the York City Knights, Paulie in centre field and just absolutely flattens Matty Fozzard. Gets up, plays the ball pretty quickly. Will jump out of the play the ball again. Good scramble onto the left side. Met by Chris Clarkson, cut down by a good Widnes challenge. Kick to come from Jamie Ellis. Lofts this one off that right boot. It's going to bounce in centre field. It's split the two defenders. Jack Owens and Matty Fleming go back. How good's the chase from the Knights? Good work from Matty Fleming. Got out onto the right side and made some good metres before the Knights caught up with him. Widnes back in possession, 0-0. We've had just about 5 minutes down here at the LNER in the Championship. You're listening to BBC Radio York on all our frequencies and online, following the York City Knights. Jack Owens brought down by the tackler Danny Kerman, the former Wakefield skipper. He'd have been buoyed to see his team beat Warrington yesterday, or his former team I should say. Fozzard into Lyons again, little reverse ball, and once more the centre of the Knights defence pretty watertight on the last tackle. Kick to come from Joe Lyons under pressure from Danny Kerman, and you could see the challenger Danny Kerman there was quite surreptitious and quite guarded in these days of the late hit being challenged, and it's a penalty. The legs Matty Marsh lifted above the horizontal, and I think somebody's going to the bin. Oh, and it's a Ribidoro. What a loss for Widnes.
That's ridiculous.
After 6 or 7 minutes, it is, Paul. We've talked about it before, and this new disciplinary initiative from the Rugby Football League. But even as a York City Knights fan, and I'm York City Knights fan, we've lost a very influential player for a nothing challenge.
Well, nothing challenging whatsoever. He lifted a leg up. They didn't put the player in a dangerous position.
Yep, so Ribidoro goes to the sin bin for that challenge, and that's just ludicrous. It really is. Well, it's all about protecting players, but
who's he protecting with that? Who did he hurt with that?
There was nothing on it, and all Ben Thaler's defence.
So it's just exactly the same now. He's chickened out from sending somebody off.
He's just applying the rules. That's the problem. Good running again from Paulie. Paulie gets the Knights over halfway at 12. Playing 13 at the moment. Matty Marsh almost away. Grabbed by Matty Fozzard. Raked to the ground, 35 out. Knights go to the right side. Jamie Ellis chips over the top. Chip and chase. Plenty of Knights players there. Fleming has lost the ball and eventually manages to get it dead. But good work. And you can hear what the York City Knights crowd think about it. They're getting behind this side.
That's taking the wind out of Widnes' sails. Look at the shoulders.
It's shocking, really, Paul. It really is. And as I say, as I was trying to say, Ben Taylor's simply just applying the rules as they're the directive that's been given.
That's somebody that's never played the game that's made that directive then.
The Knights in possession. Brendan O'Hagan, Massimo Tongo just trying to come back on the angle and stopped by the Widnes defence. Still 0-0, 8 minutes, but Widnes with a player in the sin bin. Aribi Doro for the tip tackle. Good ball to Brendan O'Hagan. Great cut out ball to Joe Brown, wide on the right wing, manages to stay in field. Good work. Somebody's been hit late here. It's Matty Marsh that's down. James Glover goes for the line in a new pair of fetching orange boots. Gets to within 5, 15 in from the right touchline. Brendan O'Hagan, reverse ball into Paulie. And once more the Widnes defence are aware of him and they make sure that he's stopped adjacent to the right-hand post. 5 metres out. Matty Marsh still getting attention in back play. Now up to his feet, thumbs up from the physio. Jordan Thompson, left side. Brendan O'Hagan to the corner. Good catch by the Widnes defence out there. Ryan Ince, I think. And it will be drop out from under the post again. Good end of set option by Brendan O'Hagan. Clever little kick, Paul.
Every single set's been worked well, and the end of the set's been done well as well.
So drop out from under the post for Widnes Vikings. Trying to work off the rest of this 10 minutes where they've lost their prop forward on loan from Warrington. Matty Smith, bit of a shank there with the kick back into field, but it did get reasonable distance, picked up by the Knights 35 out from the Widnes line. Still 0-0. Approaching 10 minutes, Massimo Tongo, strong run in the centre of the field. Will Jubb looks round. Goes to the left side, Jamie Ellis on his shoulder, and then Chris Clarkson. Chris Clarkson not really got up ahead of steam, and the official on the far side, touch judge, I think has decided that pass may have been forward.
From this where I am sat, I'm not going to argue with that.
No, we're not at the best angle, are we, Paul? Paul McDermott today in the summariser's seat. York player of considerable note from the 80s, Paul.
It sounds so long ago.
I won't mention it again. Widnes back in possession. Still 0-0. Ben Taylor, the referee, just making sure that Knights were honest in defence there and back the 10 metres. Steve Tyra in possession. And eventually the Knights just about managing to clear the ruck. Suspicion of a forward pass there into Joe Edge.
Excellent defence.
Yeah, swarming defence from the York City Knights. They were like a swarm of bees all over the Widnes carriers there. Little slip ball, nice little slip ball by Widnes. Very
still
well
not got through though.
Into Kenny Baker, the player who was started his career at Innsrose Bridge in the conference. Joe Edge going into touch. Just about managed to stay in field. Good work. Clever footwork by Joe Edge. He scuttled his feet forward, scuttled them backwards, and stayed just inside the whitewash. High hanging kick from Matty Smith. Drops towards Matty Marsh. Well taken by Matty Marsh. Keeps the ball alive. Saw an opportunity on the left side to open things up, and Widnes just about managed to hang on to young Brad Ward, but the Knights are way down the left side through Brendan O'Hagan, looking for support. Throws the ball inside.
Oh, fantastic.
20-10 and over the try line. Fabulous strike from deep.
Excellent
by the
try.
York City Knights. We talk about expansive rugby league. We talk about how it attracts the fans. And what a fabulous try that started deep in their own half. Started by Matty Marsh, finished by Matty Marsh.
Great vision from Matty Marsh. He could so easily have just gone to ground, but he didn't.
He looked up, did Matty Marsh. He looked along the line. He saw they had players over on the left-hand side. Brad Ward was collared by a Widnes tackler, but from there they kept going. They moved the ball left, and Brendan O'Hagan scuttled down that left wing. He had a player close to him, but Widnes were blocking off the inside pass. But the awareness of Brendan O'Hagan to throw that pass over the two players, and he just knew that his full-back would be up in support. And Matty Marsh goes in just to the left of the post And the York City Knights lead 4 points to nil after 12 minutes, with the kick to come from Jamie Ellis. From deep in their own half, that, Paul.
The coach has got to take some credit, because he must allow him to do things like that. But to take such a high kick and then look to attack straight away was fantastic.
Yeah, Brendan O'Hagan went probably about 60 metres down that left side. And he's not a winger, is Brendan O'Hagan. Those legs were going as fast as they would possibly carry him. Jamie Ellis gets the conversion, and the Knights lead 6 points to nil. Good success rate from Jamie Ellis this season, 23 from 26. He's just in conversation with Brett Delaney at the moment, the former Leeds Rhinos prop forward, now the assistant coach down here at the York City Knights. Involved with New Year's Week All Blacks now. They had a good win yesterday, and it was a good day for all our amateur teams. Heworth a belting 60 points to nil win, and the Acorn, they got a 10 apiece draw, so good day for the Ams in York. Steve Tyrer with the restart kick, plenty of depth on this. Joe Brown takes it, the York City Knights winger Jordan Thompson, he's not stopping for anybody, and eventually 3 Widnes defenders converged on him, stopped him just outside the York City Knights 20. 6-0 to the Knights. That great try fashioned from deep in their own half. Matty Marsh at the start of it, Matty Marsh at the end of it, Paulie, and poor old Matty Fozzard looks as though he's trying to stop a double-decker bus there. He's really struggling to put the brakes on Paulie, and a bit of that washed off on Danny Kerman there, because Kerman's made great ground. Paulie comes off, and maybe James Ford has found a way to use Paulie. Ronan Dixon goes out in his stead, but gets a good round of applause from the main stand. And the Knights 40 from the Widnes line. Jamie Ellis, hanging kick towards Matty Fleming, the former Dewsbury player, takes that in, tries to straighten his line and meets the advancing centre of the York City Knights line. Widnes doing their best to come out of defence, trailing to that Matty Marsh try converted by Jamie Ellis. Simon Finnegan, the Widnes coach, watching on. Widnes should soon be back up to a full complement of staff. Aribi Doro just back on the touchline, waiting to come back on. Being spoken to by the 4th official. Kenny Baker in the 13 shirt. Remember watching Kenny Baker play. I think it was his brother Tony Baker who played half-back for Innsrose Bridge down at the Acorn, and I don't know how many years ago that was. I've lost count these days, but he's done very well, Kenny Baker. Real staple of this Widnes side now. Very dependable. Knights trying to come out of defence after the high-hanging kick was taken in by Knights defenders in centre field. Leading 6 points to nil, 16 minutes gone on the electronic scoreboard away to our right. Jordan Thompson is working hard. Jordan Thompson, Paul.
Made 10 metres every time he took the ball, if not more.
Runs onto it at pace, and good impact when he gets there. Here's Ronan Dixon taking a leaf out of Thompson's book as the Knights approach halfway. On the last tackle, Ben Taylor with his hand in the air to indicate the 5th tackle. Good pressure from Widnes, from little Joe Lyons on Jamie Ellis. And the ball taken in by Ryan Ince. Ryan Ince ranges out onto the right side before he's cut down 30 metres from his own line. Gets up with a bit of difficulty. Took a bit of a belt in the tackle, I think. And a penalty. Knights offside. Called by Ben Taylor. And that's one thing the Knights can't afford to do, is piggyback Widnes into striking distance.
No, because that's the only way they'll make any ground. They haven't looked dangerous at all, Widnes, to me.
Knights leading by that Matty Marsh try on 12 minutes. Matty Smith with a kick to touch. And pings off one of the seats, and just away to our left. Joe Edge touches the ball against his instep. And then coming forward through Tyler Dupree, the player who had a couple of games on loan at the Knights, but he's certainly improved his game since then. He was a bit of a hit at Oldham and then moved on to Widnes, and he's done well for Widnes. Matty Smith Ball inside, and it comes out of Adam Lawton's possession. The Knights are keeping this alive. Matty Marsh is looking to break out of defence again. They're looking very, very enterprising today, Paul. The York
so
City
much
Knights.
quicker, so much quicker with thinking.
Yeah, well, I mean, not to put too fine a point on it, James Ford likened, let's say, one or two of the pitches in this league to Cowfield in his interview during the week, and they're certainly not playing on that this week, so that explains the pace of the game, and certainly the pace the Knights are trying to play the game at, and Widnes for their part are doing the same, but at the moment Widnes just about hanging on in the game. Uribe Doro back out there, they're back up to 13. Knights having to kick from deep this time. Good purchase on it by Jamie Ellis, but drops into the hands of Jack Owens. And he just probes his way forward, looking for a gap in the that he might try and exploit in the Knights advancing line, but it closes on him. Joe Edge again, another of these players that have come through that fabulous Widnes Academy from 5-6 seasons ago. Working hard to try and make meters against this Knights defence to get back on level terms. Good work there from the number 16, Tyler Dupree. On the left side, Joe Lyons. He's got Sam Wilde in support, but Sam Wilde can't get past Jamie Ellis. Back to Lyons again. He's going to look for the kick out to the right wing. Off his left foot, goes clean over Steve Tyra, bounces back into Adam Lawton. Adam Lawton tries to play a bit of football and comes up with the ball. That's fantastic work by the Widnes second row forward. Fabulous bit of work. Unfortunate with the bounce, the York City Knights, but once that ball bounced, they seemed to go to sleep in defence. Adam Lawton reacted quickest, just dribbled the ball through off his left foot and got back onto the end of it. For a big man, that was a remarkable bit of work, Paul.
Some skill there.
It was the high Joe Lyons kick that undid the York City Knights defence. It went clean over the top of Steve Tyra, who was hoping to get on the end of it on the right side of the Widnes attack. Ball bounced up and nobody reacted apart from Adam Lawton, the Widnes second row forward. Caught the ball, dropped it off his left boot and dribbled it in behind the what was left of the York City Knights defence, recollected it and touched down, and it is 6 points to 4, and out of nowhere really, Widnes have scored.
Well, that's why they say never let the ball bounce.
Yeah, it wasn't the most effective a kick when it went up, wasn't Joe Lyons' kick.
It was a poor kick, it was actually a poor kick, yes.
Yep, kick to come from Steve Tyra, and Adam Lawton also made decent ground back to the sticks, so it certainly made Steve Tyra's conversion attempt a lot easier here. Just to the right of the post, and with his phenomenal goal-scoring record, it shouldn't present too much problems.
Another 2 points for him.
And it certainly doesn't. Steve Tyra tags 2 points onto that career total.
Conversion there from the number 4, Steve Tyra,
and that brings the score. Adam Lawton, the dangerous Adam Lawton,
the Widnes Vikings 6.
has opened up the York City Knights defence, and from the Knights looking composed and in charge, suddenly we're back all square again, and I suppose it's credit to this Widnes Vikings side that they can strike from anywhere at any time, Paul.
They've got some very, very good players in the team, which have just proved.
Yep. Yeah, Adam Lawton is usually a thorn in the Knights' side when he plays against them, and that's proved to be the case today. So 6 apiece, 20 minutes, just gone past the 20-minute mark. Widnes back in possession from the restart. Massimo Tongo has come off for the York City Knights, and I would assume that Jack Teenby's out there somewhere without actually pinning him down. He is in the centre of the defensive line. Danny Kerman makes the tackle. As we've said, Widnes back up to 13 with Uribe Doro restored to the lineup after that sin binning. Matty Fossard just in the Knights half of the field. Tyler Dupree ships the ball on. And into Liam Bent, the former Oldham player. Over 100 appearances for Oldham, including in the championship last season, of course. Another high-hanging kick from Matty Smith.
Terrific
catch. A little bit of a shepherd there from one of the Knights players. It was Brad Ward, but he's got away with it. And he certainly made Matty Marsh's job a lot easier. Great running, Levi Edwards! Oh, Levi Edwards! Fabulous!
Brilliant!
And Brendan O'Hagan, I don't think fabulous rugby league this afternoon, and we've just seen a fantastic try. And we talked about Levi Edwards. How good was that ball?
That's the first time I've seen him. I want to see him some more. Fantastic feat.
Levi Edwards, James Ford talked about him before this game started, and he just absolutely tore Widnes apart as he came out of his own 20. He jinked one way, he jinked the other way. They had enough pace to carry him past players, and then saw Brendan O'Hagan there. And Brendan O'Hagan, much in the way of Connor Robinson, his predecessor, has deceptive pace, scuttled away, and Widnes were trying to track him down from halfway and just couldn't get near enough to Brendan O'Hagan. And Brendan O'Hagan, 3 tries against Widnes here last season, and he's got the first one today, the little Australian, and he's had his injury problems, his injury niggles, but no sign of them there, Paul.
No, excellent support play as well. It's no good making a break and having players that can go through if there's no one there in support.
Levi Edwards, he went past, I'd like to see it again, but he went past 4 or 5 Widnes.
I've got a text on my forehead. I can picture it.
He went through 4 or 5 attempted tackles before he needed to offload to Brendan O'Hagan, and then O'Hagan just scuttled away for the try. The York City Knights lead. We've had 20 going on to 25 minutes of the game, and the Knights are back in front. Brendan O'Hagan from halfway. Kick from Jamie Ellis.
Excellent
is
kick.
Good. Fabulous kick from the former Lee Castleford Hull player. And the Knights lead 12 points to 6. And both those Knights tries will be contenders for tries of the season, Paul. They've both been absolute belters.
Want some more, don't we?
We do. Fabulous rugby league from the York City Knights. 12 points to 6 they lead, and Levi Edwards, I think his first involvement in the game on loan from Leeds Rhinos. This ball's going to bounces very, very kindly into Joe Brown, the former Bradford winger who started his career with the St Helens Academy. Needs a bit of help as Widnes drive him back. And the Knights will start 10 from their own line. Danny Kermond into James Glover. They're dazzling, those orange boots today, aren't they, Paul? Hey, in this sunshine, you certainly know where James Glover is on the field at any moment.
It's a good job there's no scrum, so referee can't see them boots in the scrum.
Yeah, it's a good job. Good job I've got my baseball cap on. I'd be blinded. So Knights moving the ball forward. Ronan Dixon.
Good work.
Former Charleston player, of course, Ronan Dixon. They had a good win yesterday against West Hull. Keep following the fortunes of Shiloh. Brendan O'Hagan to put the kick in off the outside of the right boot. Angles it back towards the centre of the field. Caught on the first bounce by Jack Owens. He tries a little bit of enterprising stuff and goes to Matty Fleming. But the Knights defence in the form of James Glover there to say hello. 12-6 with 25 minutes gone. Ryan Ince looking for space. Had a good spell with Widnes, very good spell with Widnes. Moved to Oldham and now back at Widnes. Here's Adam Lawton, the try scorer. Big unit. Knocked to the ground by the tackler Jack Teenby. Matty Fozzard, flat ball into Joe Lyons. Joe Lyons shipping the ball on into Liam Bent on the last tackle. Joe Lyons with the kick off that left boot, that potent left boot, high-hanging kick. Matty Marsh advances to meet it, takes it beautifully.
Another great catch.
Never glanced at the advancing line. Brad Ward in off his wing. Good work by the Heworth youngster. We're talking about that win for Scott Rhodes' men yesterday in the conference. They look as though they're going to be a real force in that division this season. 60 points to 0. They were 34-0 up at half-time, and quite a number of former York City Knights involved in that squad. Danny Kerman, good work by Danny Kerman. Go on, Kermo. There's a shout from just behind me. Joe Brown at the play the ball. Liam Ellis. Sorry, Jamie Ellis. Ooh, high tackle, penalty. Tackle by Adam Lawton. On Chris Clarkson, his opposite number, and the York City Knights skipper gets the penalty.
The Knights have been very good coming out of their own half. Very good.
Yep, yeah, they've looked positive, haven't they? They've looked some real impetus and enthusiasm, Paul. That ball disappears over the stand opposite. Our league cameras stationed over on that side. Jack Teenby, good work by Jack Teenby. Paulie just down in front of us. He's just had a little run up the touchline. Brendan O'Hagan, deep ball. Where's that going? He's gone behind everybody apart from Joe Brown, but suddenly a little gap opened up in front of Joe Brown. Closed again by Widnes defenders. 8 out from the Widnes line. Kermond at the play the ball. O'Hagan onto Thompson. Thompson pressing the Widnes line. Great ball. Edwards running onto that ball at pace. Brought down. Keeps the ball alive. And this gone in the corner. It's another fabulous try for the York City Knights. And I think it's Brad Ward who's gone in. But how did Levi Edwards keep that ball alive? He must be a consortium.
Outstanding. 3 outstanding tries. Each one gets better than the previous one.
It was Brad Ward, but what a fabulous bit of work by the York City Knights. I mean, I won't take it away from Widnes. They've played some fabulous rugby league this season to earn that 3rd place in the table, but the York City Knights at the moment are outdoing them. We are just coming up to the half hour, and that ball moved down the left side. Jordan Thompson it was with the initial impetus, shipped the ball on, and Levi Edwards somehow managed to keep that ball alive. Looked as though he'd been stopped, looked as though he'd been tackled, got the ball out of the tackle. And from there, the ball went into the hands of Brad Ward, and the young man, formerly with Dewar at the very start of his career, dived in at the left corner. Expansive dive that we love to see from the wingers, Paul.
The great out there, one of the best rule changes ever made. That to not put the corner flag in field of play. Yep,
absolutely. Kick to come. Knights lead 16 points to 6 with, well, you've said it, Paul. Tries to just keep getting better. But, and such a difference from the mudfest that we've seen in some of the games this season today. It's fast rugby league. It's fabulously entertaining.
Well, this is when rugby league changed with Super League came into it. This is what it's all supposed to be about. But we're still playing in the winter in 6 inches of mud.
Jamie Ellis from the touchline. Think this may miss on the right side, and it does. So 16-6 it remains, but
the scores are now
again,
16,
great advert for Championship Rugby League again here today in this opening half hour. Liam Ellis just tugging at his hamstring, and I think he's coming off. Liam Harris is having to go out there, and Jamie Ellis, in trying to convert that try, has strained a hamstring there, I'm sure. Ball bounces twice into Paulie, and I'm glad I'm not out there trying to stop him, Paul. Dear me. You'd rather throw yourself under a bus, wouldn't you?
It'd be safer.
Will Job to Brendan O'Hagan. Great catch from Brendan O'Hagan. He looked at that ball and thought, oh, dear me, but reeled it in, the little Aussie.
He beat 2 players there as well.
Yep, formerly with West Tigers. Great step by Jordan Thompson. Knights thought the tackle was a little bit high from Aribi Doro. Referee Ben Taylor didn't. Jack Teenby. They're running with real purpose today, the York City Knights.
The forwards are on top of Widnes' forwards.
Here's Liam Harris, his first involvement in the game. High hanging kick towards Matty Fleming. 3 players bearing down on him. Kerman gets there first, Harris gets there second. They drive him back 5 metres. But good work from the Widnes winger. Did well to reel that in. And Widnes back in possession. They trail 16 points to 6. We are coming up to the half hour. And it's been half hour of real quality rugby league down here at the LNER in the Championship. York City Knights, Widnes Vikings. You're listening to BBC Radio York on all our frequencies and online. Myself and Paul McDermott watching on and being regally entertained, really. Tyler Dupree, and once more the Knights have restricted Widnes really well. They're going to have to kick from 35 from their own line. Jack Owens, low kick towards Joe Brown. Joe Brown just skirts infield from his right wing position, gets back into centre field, gets out to 30 and then driven back. Good work from Widnes, decent chase, orchestrated by the kicker Jack Owens. Brad Ward had to readjust that one, the young man.
Good hands.
Yeah, like flypaper. Liam Harris on to replace what looked like an injury to Liam Ellis. So Harris and O'Hagan in tandem now at half-back. Here he comes again, Paulie. And he picked on Joe Lyons there, the smallest man on the field. Brendan O'Hagan almost through a gap, ball goes to ground, and he winced a bit in that challenge, did Brendan O'Hagan. I hope there's nothing untoward and there's no injury, but it is Widnes back in possession, and don't recall too many handling errors by the Knights in this opening half hour, but that was one, Paul.
That was you can forgive him being speculative there because the pass was on.
Ooh, almost intercepted that one, O'Hagan. Just flicked an arm at it as Widnes went to the right side of the attack and tried to flip the ball up in the air so he could recollect it, not able to do so, and it went to ground. So it will still be Widnes ball, head and feed at the scrum.
Is this the first scrum?
First or second, not sure. Scrums don't get any better, do they?
No.
They're still an awful mess, and they're a non-entity in many ways. They're not like the scrums that you remember, Paul.
Well, they were a mess as well. They were the different type of mess.
Underneath and rattling the ankles of the opposing hooker, and a bit of punching and gouging going on.
Not guilty.
Of course not you. Certainly not. A class act in his day, Mr. McDermott. Here come Widnes onto the left side. Joe Lyons, little dummy, stopped by the challenge of Liam Harris. Liam Harris struggling to get off him. Ben Taylor said that he's been dragged on by the Widnes player, and then driving in hard there was Owen Farnworth. Owen Farnworth stopped just short. Widnes threatening again. Joe Lyons onto the right side. Kicked through from Jack Owens, and I don't think they've touched that down. Levi Edwards reacted very, very quickly.
He did
get something on it. Widnes then tried to touch the ball down, but it squirted away from them. It squirted dead, and it was Widnes with the last touch, so the Knights get the 20-metre restart. Good defence from the young man on loan from Leeds Rhinos.
He was aware of what was happening.
He was quick. He had to turn and get back onto that kick through from Jack Owens. It was a well-measured kick, but he turned and he was very, very sharp. John Thompson, just his usual consistent, relentless drive forward. Paulie again, just monsters over the top of the Widnes player. It was Liam Bent that felt that one, and I think Paulie felt it a bit as well as he went to ground. Jack Teamby takes over, left side of the York City Knights attack. 6 minutes to the interval, 16 points to 6 to the York City Knights. 3 fabulous tries in the bag. Bad to tell which has been the best of them. Liam Harris onto Matty Marsh. Matty Marsh decides that everything's cut down on the right side, takes the tackle. On the last tackle for the Knights, Brendan O'Hagan with the last kick option, lofts it up. Again to the
great catch.
Wing. Joe Brown keeps the ball alive. Knights still in possession. Danny Kerman. Will Jump's got to be offside. Got to be offside. He stopped just short anyway. Well, he didn't come to the decision, but I reckon he was a couple of metres offside. Paul was Will Jubb when he got onto that kick from Danny Kerman. Angles are deceptive. It's down away to our right, down at the far end, but
he couldn't resist picking it up, could he?
No, he couldn't. No, and you can't blame him.
No.
But the Knights coming close again, and it was great work by Joe Brown to pick that Brendan O'Hagan kick out of the air and find Danny Kerman. He's
very inventive last finish.
Great asset is Joe Brown because of that 6'4" frame. Widnes in possession, 35 from their own line. Matty Fozzard goes short side. Owens in the line, tries to step inside Liam Harris, and he's also collared by the tough tackling James Glover, former Sheffield and Dewsbury player. Little Joe Lyons again. Ball moved on through Aaron Brown, who's been pretty quiet, the former Sheffield Eagles player. Matty Smith looks for a kick out to the left corner, out towards Brad Ward. Well taken by the youngster. Took it in well as we shield our eyes a little bit from the sun. As it gets a little bit lower in the sky, here's Edwards again. He doesn't half cover that ground quick, Paul.
Well, he'd made 12 metres there.
I think he made 5 of them before Widnes even took a foot forward.
Oh,
so Liam Harris, 16-6 to the York City Knights. 3 minutes to the half-time break, and it's been 37 minutes of fabulous rugby league. Jack Teenby. We had a great game earlier on. It was one-sided. The York City Knights, Wigan never gave up, but the York City Knights ladies were really good value for that 46-0 win early today. 3 tries from Holly May Dodd on the fringes of the England World Cup squad for the ladies. And excellent performances as well by Sinead Peach. Grace Field, who'll be talking to us at half-time for her thoughts on that game. Widnes back in possession. Coming forward again, Joe Edge takes the pass from Matty Fleming. The 2 left edge players working in tandem. Aaron Brown becoming more and more influential in the game now, just shipping the ball on. Widnes up over halfway. Paulie and Jack Teenby with the tackle. Will Jubb also in there. Flat pass into Joe Lyons. Deep ball into Sam Wilde, and Sam Wilde is brought to ground by the tackler Danny Kermond. Kermond as ever working hard in defence. Kick through from Joe Edge.
Oh.
And then James Glover couldn't pick the ball up. He looked as though he'd seen 3 balls on the floor there, Paul, and didn't know which
tried
one
to pick them all up at the same time.
Yeah, possibly so. But good work from James Glover in defence. Widnes awarded the possession, and the Knights with a bit of defending to do up to half time. Don't forget, if you want to get in touch, 81333. If you want to text us, start your message with the word York. Tweet us at BBC York Sport. And the WhatsApp number 0800321 333. I'm slowly getting used to that WhatsApp number. And again, you've got to start your message with the word York. David picking those messages up for us, and obviously we'll give them an airing. So, Matty Smith on to Owens, then into Steve Tyra. Steve Tyra cut down about 10 metres out from the Knights line on the far right side of the Widnes attack. Looking for a score just to peg the Knights back a little bit. 16-6 at the moment. Widnes with 40 seconds left on the clock. Matty Smith, flat ball into
terrific
Owen
tackle.
Farnworth. Everybody shouted forward. It's not been upheld. Joe Lyons, quick ball, and
fantastic defence
from Jack Owens, and the York City Knights defenders like that. Look at Matty Marsh celebrating that poor pass from Jack Owens. Didn't come anywhere near poor Matty Fleming, his winger. He was hugging the touchline, but he was left just grasping thin air, and the Knights hold out, and that 16-6 lead remains and should remain so going into the interval. Jamie Ellis just down sat on the floor talking to Brett Delaney at the moment, but no ice pack or anything that I can see on that hamstring of his, and I don't think the Knights will risk him back into the game with Liam Harris out there. There is the half-time hooter. That's been a wonderfully entertaining
fantastic
game of rugby league, Paul.
You've got to give York Knights the due for the defence. They've tackled them. York Widnes have not made a break all afternoon.
Yeah,
this last scrum they had an open side with one defender, and they went the other side.
Yeah, he's enjoyed his start at the York City Knights. Levi Edwards, look at him going up and congratulating his teammates around him, and gets a pat from Brett Delaney. There we are, that's Grace Field. The York City Knights and England prop forward played they won today by 46 points to 0 in the second of their Challenge Cup encounters, and they move on to that 3rd game in the group against Bradford, confident of qualifying for the semi-final, and as Grace said, looking to go one better than they did last season when they were beaten by St Helens in that final. Players are out for the second half down here at the LNER. Paul McDermott still alongside me, and if we get entertained like we did in that first half, the Knights lead 16 points to 6. You're listening to BBC Radio York on all our frequencies and online, and the York City Knights about to get us underway in the form of Liam Harris, kicking towards the south stand end where the Widnes fans are, or the cinema end, and Liam Harris puts that boot through his ball. I'll get it right in a minute. Boot through the ball. And Widnes take the ball in successfully. Tries in the first half for Matty Marsh, Brendan O'Hagan and Brad Ward. 2 of those converted by Jamie Ellis, who's since limped out of the game, but Liam Harris now on in his stead in the number 19 shirt. I'll give you the starting lineups again as soon as I get the opportunity. What do you think Simon Finnegan said in the half-time interval, the Widnes coach, Paul?
It's more adventurous. They're not being adventurous. They're not looking. They're going through a pattern of play, hoping that York are going to make a mistake. And they haven't made a mistake. Barring that up and under, they've never looked dangerous, hasn't Widnes?
On the last tackle, 40 from the Knights line, Matty Smith, the former Super League star with St Helens and Wigan, and Matty Marsh takes the ball in, and the Knights looking to come out of defence again. Here's young Brad Ward again, and of course some of the Knights' young guns were playing for Leeds Rhinos reserves on Friday night against Wigan. They went down by 40 points to 6, but it has to be said it was a very experienced Wigan side that was turned out against them. So, but just a continuation of their progress in the game of rugby league, and to get them up to speed, keep them playing rugby league at a consistently good level. Here's Jordan Thompson in centre field for the York City Knights, drives forward, gets up over the 40. Just like to say thanks to Dave Seymour. It was his birthday over the weekend, and he's delivered Paul and I some birthday cake.
I noticed your cake was bigger than my cake.
Favouritism. So, kick from the Knights, and taken in successfully by Widnes as they come forward again on the right edge. Ryan Ince all wrapped up, took the pass from Steve Tyra, the ageless Steve Tyra. He'll soon not be far off the realms of Stanley Jean, will he? Where we just won't know what age he is. But fabulous career.
Stay at 33 all your life.
And Widnes almost up to halfway. They trail 16 points to 6. Aaron Brown tried to inject a little bit of pace in centre field. The former Sheffield and Dewsbury player keeps the ball alive, moves it onto the left side or the left edge, and to Joe Edge on the left edge. A little bit of a second thought with the pass, but eventually it goes to Matty Smith, drops towards young Brad Ward, takes it in well again, the youngster, and repaying the faith that James Ford has shown in him, replacing Will Oakes today, who's out with a groin strain. Quickly go through those 2 sides again. The Widnes, Jack Owens at full-back, Ryan Ince, Joe Edge, Steve Tyra, Matty Fleming across the backs, Joe Lyons, Matty Smith at half-back, Kenny Baker, Matty Fozzard, Eribi Doro, Sam Wilde, Adam Lawton and Aaron Brown, the forwards, and Liam Bent, Tyler Dupree, Owen Farnworth and Ollie Davis off the bench. And for the Knights, Matty Marsh, Joe Brown, James Glover, Levi Edwards on loan from Leeds, and Brad Ward. Brendan O'Hagan and Jamie Ellis at half-back as Matty Marsh finds a bit of space, ranges up towards halfway, tackled by Matty Smith amongst others. And the starting forwards, Massey Mutongo, Will Jubb, Paulie, Chris Clarkson, Danny Kerman and Jordan Thompson. And off the bench, Liam Harris, Ronan Dixon, Marcus Stock and Jack Teenby. Will Jubb on halfway, deep ball to Liam Harris. Harris under pressure from Matty Fozzard, gets the kick in, hangs it out towards the far side, and well taken under pressure by young Matty Fleming. And brought to ground 15 out from his own line. Joe Edge takes over. The flame-haired Joe Edge, although it looks as though he's been for a decent short back and sides this week. Moves the ball on into centre field. Wasn't Steve Tyra.
They're very lacklustre, Widnes.
Yeah, Steve Tyra now in possession, takes the tackle of Chris Clarkson, and it's pretty one-dimensional, which is surprising that some of the rugby they've played this season.
The only player that's looked dangerous is Lawton.
Here's Fozzard again, he goes to Matty Smith again, kick comes in again. They've been well restricted by the Knights defence. That's a better kick from Matty Smith. He's split Joe Brown and Matty Marsh this time. Joe Brown goes back almost to his try line to take that ball in. Needs a bit of help there, being dragged backwards towards his try line. Eventually Ben Thaler will shout held, and I'll go back to what I was saying before we went on air, Paul, about Ben Thaler, and sometimes games with him in the middle can be the Ben Thaler show, but he's been almost anonymous today. He's had a good game. He
wasn't in the first 5 minutes, but then he must have changed his mind for how was he going to ref.
Well, as I say, I think that was just the application of the laws as has been instructed by the RFL this season, and I can't hold that against the referees. It's simply the way they're instructed to referee the games. Here's Jack Teenby, little drop-off ball, punches into Matty Fozzard. Matty Fozzard bounced off and blows his cheeks out after the impact. Liam Harris moves forward, prods the ball off that right foot, went to turn Jack Owens round, but the bounce of the ball helped the Widnes defenders, and Matty Fleming comes round onto the ball. Widnes fans behind the sticks didn't like something in the tackle there. Is Widnes coming forward again. Steve Tyra at the play the ball, and the player I keep mistaking for Steve Tyra, which is Ryan Ince, who'd been the one who carried, and then Adam Lawton's dragged to the ground by the tackle of young Brad Ward. Still 16 points to 6, 33 minutes to go in this game. 7 minutes of the second half gone. BBC Radio York on all our frequencies with the York City Knights in the championship. Third playing fifth, and at the moment the team in fifth have the upper hand at 16-6. Brett Delaney firing a few instructions out onto the pitch. Widnes still in possession. Matty Smith once more launches the kick. Once more towards Brad Ward. Once more he takes it in like an old hand. Ball's ripped out by a Widnes player. Referee Thaler says play on. Good decision. Matty Marsh retrieved it. Here's that man Levi Edwards with that mazy footwork again, and Widnes initially befuddled and then managed to get the tackle in the form of Liam Bent. Good drive from the skipper, Chris Clarkson, in centre field. Well appreciated by the crowd in the main stand. Jordan Thompson and then Danny Kermond and the former Wakefield skipper. Widnes finding it hard to get him to ground. Goes to ground on the Widnes 40. O'Hagan. It was actually Liam Harris to Paulie. Paulie jumps onto the ball, cannons into the Widnes defender, who gets up a bit gingerly. Poor old Matty Fozzard, he's been battered from pillar to post from the on-rushing Knights forwards. Joe Brown chasing that ball, caught by Widnes defenders. And then Jack Owens, the fullback, in possession. He'll look for a gap to try and come downfield, can't do so. That's closed by Brendan O'Hagan and Will Jubb for the Knights. A little bit more fire and enthusiasm in the Widnes.
No.
Push forward this time, Paul?
No.
Nope. All right. Oh. He's keeping a close eye on this Widnes side. Is my compatriot, Mr. McDermott. Up to halfway. They seem to have made a few more metres this time. Still a couple of tackles in the bag. Fozzard out of the play the ball. Oof, Joe Lyons took a absolute mullering of a tackle there from Paulie. You pick the biggest man on the field, Paulie, and the smallest man on the field, Joe Lyons, and it's not a great mixture from Joe Lyons' point of view.
There's only one winner.
He was absolutely stopped dead in his tracks by that tackle from Paulie, and Knights have possession. The ball came loose. Joe Lyons tried to promote it onto the left side. It went loose, and the Knights will have scrum, head and feed. 40 from their own line. Still 16 points to 6. Half an hour to go. 2 valuable championship points on offer. Brendan O'Hagan once more.
Had to stretch for that.
Yeah, once more having to stretch over his head to pull the ball in, but he did. Levi Edwards just pushes Widnes defenders off and stops to tie his bootlace. Chris Clarkson, again well appreciated by the crowd. Gets up a little bit slowly this time. Felt that one in his old bones, did poor old Chris Clarkson. And Brendan O'Hagan, little dummy to the right side and then made 10 metres. Brought to ground 35 out. Jordan Thompson again. Looks for options, goes to Team B. Team B once more.
He's been excellent as
players
Team B.
off, goes to Marcus Stock, newly introduced, the former Hemel player for the Knights. Will Jubb looks round, 25 out now. O'Hagan on the left side, kicks over the top. Matty Marsh has read that. Oh, look at that. That was straight off the training field. A little nod in O'Hagan's direction, off the outside of the right foot, and Widnes with absolutely nobody at home. And Matty Marsh gets his second try of the game. And just an absolute, absolutely wonderful try, Paul.
As you've said, they've practiced and practiced it, and it came off perfect.
Yeah, the weight on the kick was superb, and Matty Marsh was straight onto it, and Widnes just didn't have a prayer. As long as the ball bounced for Matty Marsh, the Knights were always going to increase their lead. And with 11 minutes of the second half gone, the Knights go 20 points to 6 in front. And O'Hagan's little kick off the outside of his foot over the top of the Widnes defence. And Matty Marsh, the free scoring Matty Marsh, gets in for the try.
The Knights are more adventurous and they're more exciting.
Yeah, they've played some lovely rugby league today.
They have. The Widnes are doing some good tackling, but that's all they're doing. They're not doing anything with the ball whatsoever.
And I think the problem is that the commitment to those defensive duties are that's
taking
probably
its toll.
impacting on their ability to fashion anything in attack, Paul. Successful kick from Liam Harris. The Knights go 16 points in the lead, 22 points to 6. With that latest try from Matty Marsh, his second try of the game. We have 28 minutes to go here at the LNER. And another cracking try for the York City Knights. Restart kick from Steve Tyra, out to Brendan O'Hagan. That was actually Liam Harris that took that ball in. Looking into the shadows over on the far side. That's my excuse anyway, Paul.
Need sunglasses. Oh, you've got them on.
Sunglasses or sunglasses? Here's Will Jubb. Will Jubb to Jordan Thompson. How good a game was Jordan Thompson had? Clarkson. Oh, fabulous stuff from the Knights. Edwards. Oh, stands up. Absolutely went all over Steve Tyra there. Pushed Steve Tyra onto his backside.
And not many do that.
Trampled over him like a buffalo looking for water. And Jack Teamby, and it's Fozzard again. Poor old Matty Fozzard. He'll be black and blue tomorrow. Jack
Teamby's not the first defender off each time he took the ball.
Yeah, absolutely. And then sort of just trampled him into the turf, really. It's cracking stuff. They've been so dominant, the York City Knights forwards this afternoon. O'Hagan at the play of the ball, goes to Matty Marsh, chip over the top, put in Owens under pressure and under real pressure as the ball jagged away. Knights chase, gets on top of him 5 metres from the Widnes line, and the Knights will now go about restricting Widnes's go forward once more. Looking to find a way out of defence at the moment, but it's hard work for this side from over the Pennines. Good offload this time. Matty Smith looks for options. I think it's Aaron Brown trying to battle his way out. It is in the yellow boots. Chris Clarkson gets hold of him round the neck. And again, the Knights' defence is good. Jack Teamby and Levi Edwards. Brendan O'Hagan there. Matty Smith, he's going to have to kick again. He does. Long way downfield. Joe Brown comes across, steadies himself, takes the ball in as it hops towards him. Doesn't want to get too far towards the far touch line, but he's brought down 35 from his own line. 16 22-6 to the York City Knights. That latest try from Matty Marsh converted by Liam Harris. Jack Teamby comes off. The roar is for Jack Teamby. Ronan Dixon goes back out there. You're listening to BBC Radio York, following the York City Knights, and they've certainly bounced back today up to now from that defeat in the Cup at Whitehaven last week. Jordan Thompson again. It's been immense today for the York City Knights going forward. Will Jubb into Marcus Stock. Marcus Stock trying to battle through tacklers. 28 out on the last tackle. Will Jubb will look round. I'm sure he's going to go right to Liam Harris. He does indeed. Harris will poke the ball up in the air. He'll put Owens under pressure again. Knights player blocked off, and that was illegal. That was completely illegal. He took the Knights chaser out, knocked him to the floor, and the referee Ben Thaler waved play on.
He needs to go to Specsavers.
You're not allowed to say that, Paul.
I'm not, sorry.
Ollie Davis now out.
He needs to go to Boots the Chemist then.
Former Sheffield player. There are other chemists out there, we must point out. Widnes in possession. Here's Aaron Brown again. Aaron Brown goes to the number 13, Kenny Baker. Aaron Brown again prompting away. Matty Smith, Brendan O'Hagan tackle out the line. Great defensive work from Brendan O'Hagan on the last tackle. Matty Smith again, angled kick back towards the post. Once more splitting Matty Marsh and Joe Brown. And they both go across. Marsh supplies Brown. Brown's brought down 20 from his own line. Discipline from the Knights has been so good as well today. I can hardly remember a penalty against them, Paul.
No, they've worked very well together, and it looks like they're talking together. No offsides.
And I'll say it again, Ben Thaler's had a superb game today. He's been completely anonymous in this game, except when he's needed to be around and about making a decision. Good tackle there on Ronan Dixon, brings him to ground.
And that's what referees should be able to do all the time.
Yep, it was Sam Wilde with the tackle for Widnes as the Knights approach halfway on the last tackle. Still 22 points to 6, 23 minutes left until that final hooter. High hanging kick from Liam Harris again. Joe Edge lost it backwards. Made sure he lost it backwards, the youngster. Good decision from the referee.
Good kick.
Yeah, it was. Good kick, and it died on Joe Edge a bit. Didn't quite get his positioning right, but the way he dealt with the ball was good, and it kept Widnes in possession. Steve Tyra now in field. Matty Fozzard. He's had a tough day as Matty Fozzard at hooker. They're still out there. No interchange hooker for Widnes on the bench. He's going to have to do the 80, but he's been battered from pillar to post today by the York forwards.
To be fair to him, it still keeps coming though.
He does. Widnes still rumbling the ball forwards, and eventually Widnes player brought to ground. Fozzard again to Joe Lyons, ranging over to the right side of the attack. Good hands by Jack Owens, and then the ball off.
Great defence from York.
Steve Tyra, Ryan Ince, and him having a difference of opinion. Steve Tyra knew what he wanted Ryan Ince to do, and Ryan Ince knew what he wanted Steve Tyra to do, but neither were on the same hymn sheet, Paul.
No, good discipline from York. They kept the line, didn't move forward.
Yep, so it is Knights possession. You can hear the Knights fans singing. Well, they've gone quiet just as I give them a chance to have a bit of a sing-song. They're very happy up the far end of the stand, aren't they, Paul?
And rightly so.
Yes. Now, they've seen some cracking rugby league from the side today. Widnes fans are a bit quiet-minded.
They might be on their way home in a minute.
It's too good not to watch this. So Jordan Thompson up to halfway for the Knights. Will Jubb, another hooker who's going to do 80 minutes today. Here's that man Levi Edwards, and all of a sudden Widnes have given him a little bit more attention, haven't they?
I think half-time will have been noted.
He didn't get a metre there, did he?
No.
He's going to, if he continues to play for the Knights this season, he's going to shock some sides. He really is. Knights, of course, no game next week because of going out of the Challenge Cup. Their next game will be in a fortnight away at Workington, the long journey up to Workington, Derwent Park. with a speedway track. Widnes to play the ball in their own half of the field. Liam Bent again working hard, the former Oldham forward. 22-6 to the Knights, 20 minutes to go, just on the hour mark. Kenny Baker working hard to get Widnes down the field. They've been pretty second best forward wise this afternoon, but still trying manfully. Ollie Davies, who's only recently been introduced into the game, had 2 good games for Sheffield against the York City Knights in the Cup and the 1 game in the league. Joe Lyons on the left side, almost dummies past Danny Kerman. But
and he's pinched the ball as Kerman
steals the ball. Great work by the former Wakefield skipper. Wrapped Joe Lyons up and then took the ball off him. And Brad Ward for the Knights as they come forward again with this 16-point lead, and then there's a one-on-one rip from Steve Tyra, then he loses the ball. And he's not happy. Steve Tyra complains to the touch judge, and anybody else who listen has a complaint to Ben Thaler and gets quite a bit of derision from the main stand, Paul, for throwing his teddy out of the cot.
Well, Tyra does never ever complains to the referee, so that's how frustrated Widnes are. Yeah, he is. He's a solid professional, Steve Tyra, but sort of lost his cool a little bit there, and it is. You're right, Paul, it's just frustration. Here's Jordan Thompson again for the Knights, decent field position for the home side. Will Jubb to Marcus Stock, onto Liam Harris on the right side, Marsh into Glover, Glover puts the ball down. Little handling error by the York City Knights. That the first one? In the passing movement? Yeah, possibly so. But they've been pretty good in all facets today of the York City Knights up to now. And you may have heard news during the week that one of my heroes sadly passed away, Dave Hadfield, great rugby league journalist and gentleman. Lovely fella, absolutely lovely fella. If you've never read any of Dave Hadfield's books, try and find one and have a read. He had a wonderful way of talking about rugby league with a sense of humour, quite irreverent at times, but his knowledge was fabulous. Very entertaining. Just such a loss to the rugby league media. Here come Widnes again, just on halfway. I've got John Helm sat in front of me working today, and John, who of course was commentator on the ITV Scrum Down for a number of years and fabulous football commentator, and just put his thumb up another. There's been so many tributes to Dave Hadfield this week. So Matty Smith for Widnes again, once more opts for the kick, puts it out wide, and it's going to pop into touch, and that. They've just run out of ideas, haven't they? They have. They're relying on the kicks. Yeah, I mean, a player of Matty Smith's experience, and just he nowhere else he could go. And while the ball's out of play, just a note that a former York City Knights prop forward had another win in the boxing world on Friday night at Elland Road. Mickey Learmont, who played a couple of seasons for the York City Knights at prop forward and changed his sport to boxing, and he's going very well, still undefeated. Knights back in possession after that. Just look at the metres that York are making. Yeah, they've been really good up front, and back to 6 again. We've not seen too many of those this afternoon, but Ben Thaler just unhappy with the amount of time that it took Widnes allowed Jack Teamby to get to his feet, or didn't allow him to get back to his feet there. Liam Harris stepping in quite gingerly to dummy half there to play the ball, stepping over Kenny Baker, who was laid prone in the way, but careful stuff from Liam Harris. Sensible, and then Danny Kerman with a good run and still going, not tackled. Danny Kerman still going. Great running from Danny Kerman up the centre of the field. And well, that's a penalty. That's again, then, because he wasn't allowed to play the ball. Brendan O'Hagan tries to dodge through tackles on the left side of the attack. On the last tackle, 10 metres out, the Knights just the left of the post. Will Jubb goes back the other way. Great angled run from Marcus Stock, and a try!
though he'd been stopped, stepped off his left foot and got enough purchase
Great
to put the
footwork.
ball down. And it was great awareness from Will Jubb, the York City Knights hooker as well. He didn't go the obvious way. The Knights had lined up on the left side to attack the left corner. Will Jubb went the other way. Marcus Stock came on in the angled run. He was initially stopped a metre or two short, but stretched out and forced that ball down. The York City Knights increased their lead, 26-6, 15 minutes to go.
And this is where the York City Knights are far superior to Widnes. They've more ideas what to do when they're all in the fourth and fifth tackle.
Yeah, good pressure from the Knights. And it was just that short ball from Will Jubb to Marcus Stock. And Stock was able to stretch out, just pushed off his left foot to free himself from the tackle. And just to the left of the post, Liam Harris with the kick to come and should increase the Knights' lead to 22 points. Marcus Stock's second try of the season for the York City Knights. Matty Marsh now out to 5 for the season. And at the top of the Knights' try-scoring stakes, Liam Harris, the former Hull and Halifax player, converts. And the Knights 28-6 in the lead.
28. Widnes Vikings 6.
No enthusiasm for Widnes.
No, they look a beaten side coming back to the restart. Iribe Doro back out in the action for him. Maybe he'll pep him up a little bit. The player on loan from Warrington. Restart kick caught on the full by Joe Brown. And Massimo Tongo now back in the action for the Knights. Just see there the Chris Brining down on the bench. Another player not involved today, and we'll try and check on Chris Brining when we speak to James Ford after the game and see his state of health at the moment. And again, that's another position where the Knights this season have that selection headache, and it's no bad headache with the three hookers. Ship the ball on to Edwards. Edwards goes again. And Steve Tyre has gone down really heavily here. And Edwards with the handoff. And he put Steve Tyra to the ground. There was nothing untoward in it. It was simply just great strength from the player on loan from Leeds Rhinos. Steve Tyra couldn't cope with it and went to ground. And he's laid down just in front of us, about 5 metres into the field of play. He didn't move initially, but then he did. So hopefully he's all right, Paul. But that was just the strength of the young centre, wasn't it?
He must have an arm like a tree trunk.
He's proved to be a real handful since he came on, and everything James Ford said to me about the youngster before the game today is absolutely right on the money. What an exciting player.
He's not had much space, but with the space he's had, he's certainly made use of it.
There'll be one or two of the dual reg tie-up for Leeds is supposed to be with Featherstone. If there's anybody watching on from Featherstone today, they'll be thinking, well, how did we miss this guy? And Steve Tyra's okay, back up on his feet again. And walks back into the defensive line. Bowed, if not beaten, I think you'd say. Will Jubb fires the ball missile-like into Brendan O'Hagan again. And then Marcus Stock, who got that latest try for the Knights. 13 minutes left, 28 points to 6 to the York City Knights. If you want to text us, start your message with the word York, 81333. If you want to tweet us at BBC York Sport, good catch there by Jack Owens in defence for Widnes. And if you want to get in touch by WhatsApp, it is 0800 321 333. Start your message once more with the word York. Be good to hear from you if you're sat at home listening or you're at work today and couldn't make the game. It's been a cracking afternoon's rugby league in every sense of the word. The double-header today, the ladies winning 46-0 in the Challenge Cup. And the Knights in charge against Widnes Vikings. Widnes still trying manfully to make metres up this field, but it's they've been a bit like a boomerang. They keep making a few metres and then the Knights come back at them, and it's the Knights that are scoring the points. Not sure quite what's trying to work out what's happening here. Referee
Tyra coming off.
Taylor's got his arm out. Tyra's coming off. Adam Lawton comes back on. He looks thoroughly dispirited, does Steve Tyra, doesn't he?
He's been battered.
Yes.
Your York City Knights pot of gold winning ticket number is 28.
Kick through from Matty Smith. Widnes player Jack Owens was slightly ahead of the play, but it doesn't matter because Matty Marsh was onto that ball in a flash.
Why does he keep kicking to Matty Marsh?
He's got to be the best fullback in the championship, head and shoulders, Paul. We keep saying it, and I did some research for book a couple of months ago, and James Ford gave me the opinion that he thinks that Matty Marsh is the best ever York City Knights player, and that's
a big call.
It is it's a big accolade. Chris Clarkson sets off at pace, just wrong foot in the Widnes defence initially. Will Judd, Massimo Tongo again, the former Hull player, driving forward. The Knights forward still absolutely dominant in this game. There were fears about what the likes of Adam Lawton and Iribe Doro could do to this Knights side this afternoon. It's just not materialised.
Unfounded fears.
Excuse me. Sun shining out, Paul shielding his eyes. I've pulled the old baseball cap down a little bit more.
Bring it on. I like the sun.
And the Knights defending Widnes again, deep in the Widnes half, which has been much the story of the game. And what's referee giving here? Ben Taylor. He's explaining it to Adam Lawton, who I don't think is going to be very happy with the outcome. The Widnes second row forward.
I'm not so sure it was a knock on myself.
Yeah, he's given a knock on as Ben Taylor. And of course there's a connection with Ben Taylor with York City Knights, because his brother Adam, back in 2004, had some games on loan from Castleford for the Knights. Another Normanton lad. Knights feed the scrum. Will Judd fires it into Paulie. The bad news continues for Widnes. The big man's out there. Samoan prop forward, another man who'll be looking to get a game in the World Cup in October, November for Samoa. Gets back to his feet, pretty slow play the ball. Reverse ball, Marcus Stock on an effective run again, supporting Chris Clarkson. Will Judd looks round, 20 out from the Widnes line. Can the Knights top this performance off with a try? Brendan O'Hagan, ball goes to ground, collected I think by Joe Brown out on the far side. Bit of tidying up work for the ex-Bradford winger. Here's Danny Kermond again, he'll just go straight and hard, he does, 9 minutes left.
How deep Edwards is?
Yeah, Edwards is going to come on to this like a space rocket. He really is. Thompson into Clarkson. Here comes Edwards! He's got it down! Fabulous strength! Paul, you saw that from a million miles away. But what a ball from Chris Clarkson. He knew where Matty Marsh was. And Matty Marsh, it was the hot potato pass. I bet it wasn't in his hands for more than a millisecond. He knew Edwards was coming. And he was coming like the LNER train from King's Cross to York. And he went in at the corner and he'd too much strength for the Widnes defence. And it is 32 points to 6 to the York City Knights. Levi Edwards, first try in York City Knights colours. And I'll say it once more, how good is that lad?
It's fantastic. He knew it. I could see him take a step back. Everybody else was moving forward. He took 2 steps back. And he kept his eye on that gap.
Yeah.
He went for it.
Yeah, that ball left Clarkson to Marsh. Marsh with just shipped the ball on instantly. He knew Edwards was there, and he had enough power to drive through the Widnes defender on the line. And Levi Edwards, on loan from Leeds Rhinos. It'll be one of those jobs when he gets a report during the week, when Leeds ring up and say, how did he go? James Ford will say, oh, he was terrible.
Well, the way Leeds are playing at the moment, they might put him back in.
No, don't say that, Paul. Thoroughly entertained by the young man today. Here's Liam Harris with a kick from the touchline, going to miss on the left side. 32-6 it remains. Have a think about it, Paul. Yeah, this is going to be a tough ask today. I'm going to ask you for your man of the match very shortly. I had the job to do for the ladies' match, and I went for Sinead Peach in the end, but same in that game, there were 5 or 6 outstanding candidates. The Widnes fans are still there, but they're not having a lot to say, Paul.
Well, they have nothing to say. The Widnes give nothing to say.
Yeah, it's been... it's a result today. They'll just make one or two... there'll be one or two raised eyebrows elsewhere. But we've said it before, it's a very competitive league, is the Championship, and any team can beat any team on its day. We know Featherstone and Lee are the outstanding sides in the division, but the Knights have looked very good today. Here's Paulie again, oof, and this time he bounces off Ollie Davis, gets the pass on, out of the tackle. He's been at his most impressive today as Paulie, and I bet Widnes are glad he's only been on there for about 30 minutes this afternoon, because he's really punched that ball up strongly, and he must be a nightmare to try and tackle. Liam Harris stepping, still stepping.
Will Jubb always knows which way to pass the ball, doesn't he? He never very rarely goes to the wrong side.
Yeah. Good ball into Danny Kermond. Danny Kermond lifted, and then he's back to the ground as somebody thought better of it. Will Jubb, right side. Matty Marsh puts the kick in behind the Widnes defence, and the ball eventually runs dead, and it will be the 20-metre restart. 32-6. 5.5 minutes left on the clock in the sunshine down at the LNER, the Rugby League Championship. The league table, as it stood before today, showed Widnes in 3rd and the Knights in 5th. The Knights had 6 points from 5 games. Widnes had 8 points from 5 games. Obviously the Knights will go to 8 and on par with Widnes. Barrow and Lee and Featherstone were the teams above them. They can't catch Featherstone at the moment, who have 5 from 5. Here's Aribi Doro up the centre of the field, chance for Widnes.
Good tackle.
Down by the recovering tackle. And Matty Marsh needs to get off pretty quickly. It was actually Danny Kermond, I think, with the recovering tackle. Needed to get off quickly to not get stuck in the sin bin. Here's Kenny Baker, not sure where to go, throws it wide to Adam Lawton. Adam Lawton throws it back inside. Oh, and just an absolute comedy of errors from Widnes. It doesn't matter how they try, it's just not running for them today.
They had a go being inventive. Throw a dummy went through, backward pass, and they've made a mess of it in the last passes. And they've enough experience in this team to take advantage of situations like that. Yeah,
great recovering tackle from Danny Kermond. He wasn't giving up on that.
I couldn't see who it was, but whoever he did, it was a great tackle.
Yeah, I thought it was Matty Marsh at first, but it was Danny Kermond that tracked Aribi Doro down and pulled him down 10 metres short of the Knights' try line. And still just that one converted try for Widnes. And the Knights with 6 tries in response. And back to 6 again for the Knights as Joe Brown jumps out of the play the ball. James Glover goes in there. The shadows are lengthened on the far side, but you can't mistake James Glover in those boots. Will Jubb waits. 32-6 to the York City Knights. 3 minutes 18 on the clock. Massimo Tongo through a gap. Little drop-off ball from Liam Harris. Ball flung backwards. And attempted bit of football from Tyler Dupree, and Matty Marsh tidies up like the wonderful rugby league janitor that he is. Doesn't miss a thing. Edwards again. Tries to wind his way through 4 Widnes tacklers. Matty Smith, one of those who's got a hold of him, and Matty Smith just smiles as if to say, oh, flipping heck, we've stopped him this time. Will Jubb just ushers Matty Marsh away from the play the ball.
Bring it back this way.
Widnes 40, yes, absolutely. Paulie slips past Kenny Baker, still going, looks for the offload, fends off the player.
Just overran him.
Great work from Paulie, just a real entertainer. Jordan Thompson, how good a game as he had today for the York City Knights. We'll just hesitate over the man of the match, Paul, but I'll ask you for your decision in a minute. We'll see how this York City Knights attack pans out. Matty Marsh kicked to the corner, looked as though it was the instep from the Widnes player, so they've got away with that one and they are safely in possession. Man of the match, Paul.
Well, if I could give a collective one, it would be to the forwards.
Right.
But unfortunately, it's got to be to an individual. It's got to go to Matty Marsh.
Right. So, Matty Marsh, Paul's man of the match, and I think I'd pretty much agree with that. Brendan O'Hagan, another one in the frame certainly, and as Paul said, the forwards have been superb today. Jordan Thompson, another one whose his work rate has been phenomenal. Widnes coming forward through Jack Owens, moving the ball into Adam Lawton, and I think Lawton may well have lost that ball. He has indeed, and really doesn't matter for Widnes now. They've just got to try anything to try and get what will only be a consolation try. Brett Delaney and James Ford just congratulating one another down in front of us. That's a job well done today. The defensive work has been superb. The attacking work has been beyond compare. I mean, we've seen some fantastic tries.
Outstanding tries.
Yeah, the dying seconds, 45 seconds to go on the scoreboard. Scrum, Will Jubb into Joe Brown in centre field. Joe Brown runs into the tackle of Ollie Davis and Aribi Doro. Matty Marsh just in there assisting his winger. Joe Brown makes some sort of comment towards Aribi Doro. And then Jordan Thompson once more, eager for work, even in the last minute of the game. And the Knights fans are singing. Here's Massimo Tongo. Let you enjoy the sing-song for a moment or two as the seconds tick away.
Oh, wait, go march it in!
And the hooter about to sound. Mr. David Milburn in front of me brandishes the hooter, and away it goes. And that has been as bad as that performance was from the York City Knights last week at Whitehaven. This has been at the completely other end of the spectrum.
The shell shock.
They have been superb today against Widnes Vikings here at the LNER. Thoroughly deserved the 2 points, thoroughly deserved the size, the margin of victory at 32-6, and they've been the best side all game long, Paul.